Hello, everyone. Wow, this is a smaller crowd than I expected, but I know a lot of people were on that super team boat last night. Welcome, everyone, to our talk about BuddyLink. My name is Aiden, co-CEO and co-founder of BuddyLink, and this is Calvin, my cousin and co-CEO at BuddyLink. So over the last couple of years, you guys may have seen us bouncing around from hacker house to hacker house. We've been to about 17 hacker houses now, building all kinds of stuff with our team, and we've been to 3 breakpoints. This is my second breakpoint. And we're very happy to say that we'll make it our 18th hacker house in a couple weeks in Hong Kong. So over the last year and a half, we've been kind of building a little bit low-key, more on the infrastructure side. You've probably seen us in wizard hats, building out a game. But this is the thing that we've been really excited to finally come out and tell everybody about. So Calvin, do you want to tell us a little bit about how this kind of thing got started?
Yeah, it all got started when we started inviting our friends into crypto, which we've been doing for many, many years. And why wouldn't we? It's a super secure network where nobody gets rugged, and everyone can just safely invest, right? And so after just rug after rug after rug after rug, we sought out to try and figure out a way, hey, how can we actually educate our friends before they get into different projects? How can they actually discover something and know where to look? Kind of like the CoinMarketCap of old when it was just investing in crypto. And so we set out to build a secure place where people can discover and invite their friends to Web3.
Great. So you're seeing on here, engagement tooling. So I want to kind of touch on that before we really get into this stuff. So one thing that we really noticed as we started getting into this, as Calvin was mentioning a lot on the user side, there's obviously some problems about the security, the safety of things, and where to invite people. But another thing we really noticed is that businesses were having a really big issue as well. We're seeing that businesses are spending $15K a month plus on all of these types of engagement tools that they could really get started for free. Let's touch a little bit on engagement tooling. Engagement tooling is a very well-known concept. Engagement tools are really kind of threefold. They look to increase user acquisition, increase user retention, and increase marginal spend. And what that means is, high churn products, you really want to keep your users. How do you keep those users? You incentivize them. And different engagement systems kind of serve different products. You have referrals, that's our bread and butter. We have loyalty programs, battle passes that you've probably seen in kind of AAA games and things like that. All of these things engage users and keep them coming back and keep them looking for more. And it also takes away from the main gameplay loop, so low-key, you could have a little bit of a crappier game. What we really saw is that there's a whole bunch of these different engagement service providers, and what they do is they typically stick to one kind of vertical. And the reason I'm putting this up here is because I really want to note that these businesses charge a lot of money for their services. Not that they don't work, but they're definitely not composable. If you have to use multiple ones of these providers, you're then starting to manage a bunch of different API keys. You have to kind of contact them all the time. You're talking to their tech support. It's kind of like a whole mess. And so what we've done is we've simplified the entire thing, and we're really happy to present Buddy, which is a next-generation referral marketing hub. This is where businesses and users come together, where users can discover new products, and they can discover new businesses, and businesses can advertise to these users and tell them what they're offering them, whether that's referrals, loyalty systems, or any other types of engagement tools.
So what we're really trying to solve here is the cold start problem, right? Getting people into Web3, getting them in safely. But then also trying to get projects to work together, because Web3 is all about composability, about working together, about building community, right? And these are kind of things that I think over the last year, people kind of forgot the good old days, right? In the bull market, it's super easy to kind of jump into a Discord, have a ton of fun, build a community, laugh, play, whatever. In the bear market, we've just been building, right? But the bulls will come back, and with them will be a lot more people to play these games with. And so why we build on Web3? For us, we hate using API keys, right? We built a crypto exchange, had to interact with a whole bunch of other exchanges, use API keys, use providers for KYC, all these things that when one of them goes down, it kind of messes up the whole rest of your stack. So any Web2 engineers can kind of speak to this, which is just the more third parties you have, the more fragile your system becomes. And so it sometimes gets really tricky to work with other people. And so in Web3, it's a lot easier if you can actually rely on Solana as the source of truth instead of somebody else's database, then you can build more robust systems. And more importantly, we can't take it away from you, right? Star Atlas building on BuddyLink, we can't take that away from them, even if we want to.
So now I'd really like to tell you about our debut mechanism here, shared attribution. So one of the wonderful things that we're about to introduce is this really good concept of the ability to actually share attribution across multiple different platforms. And this is only possible because of Web3, as Calvin was mentioning. Because all of these different programs can compose with each other, naturally, if they can compose with one protocol, they are now all interconnected. So the interesting thing about shared attribution and what we want to kind of talk about here is that if you're a product and you're typically going through a normal user journey, that user is basically referred to one single product. The interesting thing here is that any product that uses BuddyLink as the referral system, that user is now connected to all of those products. So now if you refer one person to one system, they are now monetizable across all of those systems. Or if it's your friend, you guys can earn rewards from each other across all of the different products that you use, be it a game, be it a marketplace, be it a DeFi exchange. So the interesting thing we also want to mention here is that it's fully on-chain, it's multi-attribution, so you can actually have multiple different steps of attribution. You could split the attribution multiple ways. So if I refer Calvin and Calvin refers Joe, that would be some sort of a multi-level situation. But multi-attribution is a very interesting step where if Joe and I both decide to actually refer Calvin, we can split that attribution 50-50. So really, how does that actually work? Basically, if you invite your friend to the Buddy application, this is where they're actually going to see all of these different referral rewards, these different systems that they can see. As I mentioned before, it's really kind of like a marketplace for users and businesses to interact with each other. And so as you invite your friend over to the application, anything that they see, you get rewards for it. But really, don't take it from us. As we said, this is a super composable system, so we work with businesses all the time. We're very happy to introduce one of our very close friends, the founder and CEO of Star Atlas, Michael Wagner.
Yeah, man.
Easy.
Nice. Nice.
Check out.
Thanks. You guys don't have to worry about taking our users. We're happy to share in Web3. So it turns out that user acquisition is pretty hard. User acquisition in Web3 is actually more difficult. And user acquisition in Web3 in the current market environment is nearly impossible. But it also turns out that we have access to one of the greatest business resources we could ask for in Web3, and that's community. You see, community is not your traditional customer or user relationship. Community is a group of people that are passionate about what you're building. And they'll do everything they can to help you grow, especially if you empower them to do so. We launched StarPath in 2022. It was a hybrid Web 2, Web 3 approach. Failed for a variety of reasons. But fortunately, we connected up with the team at BuddyLink earlier this year, and we were able to integrate a fully on-chain Web 3 affiliate and referral system. The result of that relationship is just over the last couple of weeks, we've already signed up 2,000 new users. We've distributed over $150,000 in rewards to those users, and we've generated an additional $1 million in marketplace transaction volume on our marketplace. So how do we do that? Yeah, so how do we do that? Well, not only was it much easier for user onboarding after the BuddyLink integration, but we radically overhauled the economics as well. There's 3 different ways to earn with BuddyLink. There's a 25% referral fee on any primary market purchases. There's a 25% referral fee on all of the secondary marketplace royalty fees. And then we've also integrated golden tickets. Now, golden tickets is a raffle program that is based on our web game, Sage Labs. We're already seeing early success with the program. And I'm extremely excited about what the future has in store for us, especially with the enthusiasm that we've been seeing at Breakpoint. So I just want to say a big thank you to our friends at BuddyLink. These guys are incredible developers. They're pioneers on Solana, and look forward to working with you guys more in the future.
Thank you very much, Michael. With that, we really kind of want to highlight one last part of this thing. As we said, composability, right? We're talking about building on Web3. This is the epitome of composability, a fully on-chain game using a fully on-chain protocol, and we're able to do this all permissionlessly. Except we do kind of like get into each other's code a little bit. So the other thing that we really want to kind of talk about, as we said, we really serve businesses a lot of the time, but we really like to talk about users. We like to really make sure that users have the best possible time. And as Calvin said, making a safe, possible experience for these users means that we have to build and we have to innovate. So one of the things we really wanted to talk about today is the introduction of Buddy Connect. So Buddy Connect is a seamless onboarding process. It's a gasless solution for users to be able to come into Web3 with no issues, no pain points. And effectively, they also get to have these link points. There's this debut mechanism that we're also bringing in, where they're actually rewarded for their daily activities. So say, when you go on Duolingo, you get a daily streak for coming back in and logging in every day. That kind of gamification is the type of thing we want to use for something like a gasless onboarding solution. So that user connects their profile, they connect their Twitter, they connect any sort of social media, that adds some link points to the chain. As soon as you start doing different daily tasks, they revisit the website or they revisit an application, they get more link points, and those are their gasless points to be able to continue their experience on the blockchain without even knowing that it's on the blockchain in a really gamified way. And we'll be open sourcing this in 2024. And Calvin, do you want to kind of speak to this a little bit?
Yeah, so with Buddy Connect, very simply, we've been having issues with just using wallets. In general, it's always been a bit of a hassle. Of course, we've been doing it for many years and on different chains and now in Solana. And we still have a few things missing, like being able to just use our Saga and sign when I'm on desktop, right? Just basic things. And there are a lot of little things that add up to a great user experience. And so we set out to try and start solving these things. We have some ideas for bringing features like that to a mobile app, connect even things like your Phantom and other wallets, ideally, eventually even wallets from other chains, right? Ideally, we would have one user experience, one Buddy ID per user that would allow them to seamlessly connect with any app gaslessly, ideally, and simply transfer assets between, sorry, lost words. Let me reset. The ideal, I'm trying to think of a user experience here where you go to pay for something, and it's not about what do you pay in. Sometimes you have Sol in your wallet, you have USDC, and then you're asked, hey, I want to pay in Atlas, right? Ideally, it would just be that the user pays in whatever they have, and they just send whatever they have and pay for it seamlessly. And so we're trying to bring a lot of these more seamless, small features and make it possible for any project that's building on Solana to just simply have all these things built in.
And identity management is another big thing. It's something we talk about a lot. Being able to manage your identity is super important. Being able to manage your permissions and what kind of data you're actually giving up to different businesses is super important. It's your right. And so this is what we've always been looking into is kind of the advertising side of things. And advertising in Web3 is very difficult. And we give users the power to own their own data and projects the ability to reach them. And what does that really mean? Well, that means the management of permissions. And with that, we'd really like to introduce the final thing today, which is our Buddy app. So you'll be able to share and earn on mobile everywhere you go, obviously debuting on the Saga, Play Store, and Google Play, and the App Store. The idea here is that, as Calvin was kind of mentioning with his Saga, this is something that people do every day, right? You use your phone on a daily basis, so this should be the place where you can actually find new products, see what's going on a daily basis on Solana or on in Web3 overall, and kind of see what other people are offering and what's going on in the daily news. Just to wrap it all up here, we really appreciate everybody that's here. We really appreciate the Solana ecosystem. As we said, we've been building in this space for a long time. We've met a lot of different people. We've seen a lot of different faces. And everybody has been so kind and generous in our entire process. I really want to shout out our team who's here with us today. If you see us around with the white T-shirts, this is one of the most cracked engineering teams I've ever had the privilege of working with. They're wonderful people. Ask us any questions, technical, non-technical. And if you guys are a business, please let us know how we can help you. And if you're a user and you're really interested in using BuddyLink as well, come and talk to us. We'll be here all day. And we'll be here for the next couple days, I guess. So thank you all very much.